TFFL owners to another TFFL webcast. I am fixated now on the duck that is on top of my face.
Yes. Powered by StreamYard.
How do I avoid
move that?
All right.
Move that. There we go.
Okay, so hey, it's Wednesday, August 28th. I've done some math here. We are 5 days away now from the TFFL keeper deadline. 8 days away from the start of the NFL season, or a week from tomorrow night, we will have an NFL kickoff that counts. 10 days away from the TFFL draft, and we'll actually be down in Myrtle Beach for that first NFL game in just 8 days. We have lots to talk about tonight. We got a hurricane. We've got the big Andrew Luck news. We've got Lamar Miller injury news. We've got a Dirt Devils trade. We have lots to talk about tonight. But first, as always, let me introduce our panel. I'm Stick, General Manager of TFFL Media, leader of the Aliens. Happy to be here. Chief, Skipper the Sponge Fisherman. We'll be hearing lots from you later. Terry, our commissioner, and owner of the Steel City Mongols.
Hello, everyone.
You're sounding better this week, Terry, by the way.
Yeah. Hopefully it stays there.
All right. Berto from Jack's Giant Killers wearing your T-shirt.
Yes, there we go. Stick, how are you? I'm very happy that I got the StreamYard with minimal issues tonight. So it's fun to have a new technology here. So that's fantastic. I missed the last one with the new technology here. So looks pretty cool.
And there's no longer a duck on top of my face. Nice job.
We can bring that back if you want.
Nice job, IT Director Hank. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
All right, so let me start things off, as always, with our TFFL trivia question. I've got a three-parter tonight, lots of points in play. And the theme, just at random, is losing seasons for Jack's Giant Killers. Berto,
I love this theme.
I thought you might. Berto, what was your record last year?
4-9.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So we're talking about this because it was very unusual. The Giant Killers don't often have losing seasons. Now, the Giant Killers weren't always the Giant Killers. They were the Fugitive Hogs for the first 4 years of their existence, and then the Stem Cells / Giant Killers for the last 18 years. First question for 1 point, true or false? The Fugitive Hogs had as many or more losing seasons than Jack's Giant Killers have had in 18 years. 1 point, true or false? Second question, in order to answer that first question, you probably have to take a stab at how many losing seasons the Giant Killers have had in 18 years. Tell me what that number is. And if you're within one of the correct answer there, I'll give you a point. If you nail it exactly, I'll give you 3 points.
How many losing seasons have the Killers had in the last 18 years?
In their 18 years of existence. And your third and final question, keeping in mind they're coming off that losing season in 2018, how far back do you have to go in their existence to find back-to-back losing seasons, if ever? I'll give you 2 points if you can sort of get within 1 year of their last back-to-back losing season.
When
You know what's going to be sad? I'm going to get the least amount of this. All right, so the first one was true false.
Who had more losing seasons, basically? The Fugitive Hogs in 4 years, or Jack's Giant Killers in 18 years? Total number of losing seasons for Jack's Giant Killers, and the last time, if ever, that they have had back-to-back losing seasons.
On the last question, just to clarify, it's not all the way back to the Fugitive Hogs days.
Correct.
18 years for Berto.
Giant Killers and Stem Cells only there.
And the third part, we're looking for a year.
Yeah, the second of the two back-to-back losing years, if they existed. And they definitely existed for the Fugitive Hogs. All right. enough about Jack's Giant Killers. Let's turn to Terry. We have a lot of important administrative reminders as we head into the start of the season. Take it away.
Sure. Well, first thing, we'll start pay your dues. That's an easy one. They're due by the end of the month. I think last update, everybody had paid except 2 or 3, so I'm sure they'll get them in by the due date. Keepers, Labor Day. Again, the official deadline is 6 o'clock. If you get them to me earlier, I won't be mad. I have the draft board. I haven't even unpacked it. It's ready to go. It's still in the wrapping from CBS. We have dinner reservations Saturday night, 7 p.m. at the Brentwood. I made the reservations for 15. I think we'll have 14. We have the Angel Room. It's not the upstairs room that we've had in years past. That was already booked. But we do have a private room. It's downstairs. Wi-Fi, fireplace, TV. You can seat up to 22.
Wow.
So if we make some friends along the way and want to invite them, we have room.
Private room is great for our speeches. A lot of work.
We do have room for our speeches. If we want to bring back that hammy tradition, we are able to do it again this year. I've always hated making this speech. Yes, I missed the playoffs again last year, but next year is the year. You can only say that so many times. The IR proposal. Where are we with the IR proposal? In a short answer, nowhere. We had started some conversation with that, and it quickly died on the vine. I did not grab the bull by the horns and push that conversation along. So at the current time, we still have the same IR rules that we've always had. I don't think, being that it's so late in the process, it would have been a good idea to start them this year anyway. So if we want to have some long, drunken arguments about this subject of murder, we can do that. Otherwise, we are no further along on the IR than we were 6 months ago.
This is shocking news. This is shocking that we don't have a new proposal in front of us with clarity as to what we should have. The IR policy has to be the same for this year. If they got something they'll have to put forward for next year, great.
Right.
Write it up.
Right. That is all. I'm looking forward to the draft. And lastly, I got official word last night. We're going to be short. The badass this year, he will not be making it down. So, we'll miss you, Bob. See you. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we'll be doing the draft again in 2020. We'll see you then.
Yes. We'll miss you, badass.
We will miss you, badass. But we did pick up Chris Connor, who is in for the full weekend. So that's good.
Connor is confirmed in. Greg Shively is confirmed out.
Correct. Wait a second. Who on the panel is part of the IR committee?
Berto,
dude, talk to me, man. I mean, this thing is shenanigans.
I don't feel prepared to talk about the IR process. I would suggest that we go with where we're at, and we pick this up next year because yes, it is late in the process here, and I am not qualified to speak on behalf of the committee tonight on the IR rules.
That's brilliant.
When the agenda went out, I did say that I would not on the new bench. So.
All right, well, Hank, get ready to turn the spotlight back on Berto because I'm excited to announce a new segment here on the TFFL webcast, Hurricane Watch.
Hurricane Watch, excellent. This is going to be a good segment.
With Berto, the TFFL meteorologist. Tell us about Dorian.
Didn't Russell Stark do this for a season? Like a weather report before the games?
She might have.
Was she too busy to do this?
Well, listen, I couldn't get a very attractive lady, so you have to deal with my
Why is this
our
guy?
shipping, look. But I wanted to first start off with a view. This is the actual. Well, no, this side is the actual hurricane, and it looks pretty bad. So this is Puerto Rico over here. That's the hurricane right there. Not looking too good. Now, if you look over here, this is the cone. You can see right now that this thing is tracking up towards Florida to 3 p.m. Orlando has a lot of the cone miles going. But everyone loves spaghetti. So we need to go to the spaghetti models that give you the possibilities of what's going to happen here. So if you see that little dot right up there, that's where we're going to be.
Yep.
Kind of just over the border into South Carolina there. As you can see, most of these spaghetti models have this going into Florida about 3 p.m. on Monday. But a couple of these actually go up into South Carolina on Tuesday or Wednesday. So we could, there's a slight chance we could again be heading towards a hurricane. But again, most models have this going to Florida. But again, slight chance it goes to South Carolina. Now, if you look at the 10-day Myrtle Beach forecast, I don't know if you can see that.
Keep moving it around.
Yeah, hold it still.
So the 10-day forecast pretty much says a little rain here and there, but sunny. Typical Myrtle forecast. My expectation, my expert opinion is we're going to have beautiful weather, and don't worry about it. But what else here? If we go over some mountainous terrain, if it mixes with dry air, it's going to move significantly to the west. We should be in good shape. So no worries.
That was a great report.
No worries.
Listen,
And we have the hurricane insurance.
Listen, the bottom line is no one pussy out like we did a couple of years ago. We're going down. We always know the risks of a draft in Myrtle in September in the height of hurricane season.
Every member of the webcast tonight did make that trip. Am I right?
Yes.
We were all there. There we go.
So we skirt it every year. I think bottom line is this thing is hitting Florida, and if it does skirt a little bit north, it's hitting early anyway.
That's the thing. I don't think we're going to hit the hurricane. I think the worst case scenario is we have a wet golf course on Friday.
Yes.
Maybe still a little rough sea out there, but
yeah.
Maybe
the rough sea doesn't hurt us when we're sitting on the deck looking at the water. So anyway, we'll be fine. Maybe a little rain. I think we're going to have sun. I think we'll be fine for golf on Friday, and it's going to be great. That's my weather report stick.
Well done.
That was great. And just a quick report that we do have a live viewer, Mr. Thornburg. Good to see you.
Nice.
Yeah. Bert, a great in-depth knowledge on the hurricane report. And
Thank you.
We're going, right? We're going.
Keep us updated.
Yes, we'll do.
A lot of time still to go. All right, let's get into our roundtable chat. We do have lots and lots of big news to talk about. We'll kick things off with the biggest news of the week, surprising news, very significant news. Andrew Luck retiring. Lots of ways we can dissect this. We'll get into some of the TFFL specifics in a minute. But let's just talk about this situation. It's a fascinating one. Chief, I think I'll let you start things off here. I don't know if there's a rant that we're going to hear or not.
No, not at all. I'm not one of the guys who says, "Man, you let your team down quitting so late. What are you thinking?" If he knew he was going to retire in April and May, then yeah, he kind of fucked up. I don't think he did. I think it was this injury, which is not getting better, and has in fact been diagnosed as 3 different things, in the last 6 weeks. I think kind of pushed him over that edge. You know, could always be worse. Could have been after keep down, you know, protection day. And so he's clearly has the right to do as he sees fit with his life. So I wish him the best. Gave me a couple good years. Couldn't win me the Packed Bowl, but you know Tom Brady never did either in 9 years. So here's to you.
Yeah, as I told you guys, I think one of the assholes out there who, yeah, he has a right to do this, but I'm one of those people who I'm not hating on the fans who booed him going off the field. They have every right to do that as well. He walked away from a contract. He walked away from a relationship with those fans. Yeah, there's still, as we talked about 2 weeks ago on this webcast, there's still some weirdness with this lack of clear diagnosis on what's going on. But as somebody at work said this week, you know, I think accurately summed it up, Luck's resolve ran out. And you can frame that as him being soft or whatever, but that's exactly what happened. Go on IR, rehab your ankle, play out your contract, or retire if you want. That's fine, but I'm going to let the fans boo you if you do.
Would you feel differently if he had done this 2 months ago?
Maybe a little bit, and I think everybody's going to feel differently if he does it 10 years from now and retires at the end of his career.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the fact that it's 2 weeks before the season is a little part of it.
Yeah.
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that he was mentally trying to get himself to a point where he could play this season and be there. And I mean, I guess I kind of feel for the guy in the sense that he has been battling some injury or another pretty much his entire career. He's super talented. He had a great season last year. And, you know, sometimes I don't think this is a bad decision for him. I mean, this is just where he's at, and I get it. He's not there to play football. Fine. Then, boo him. I'd be disappointed, but I don't think booing him is a class act, and I think we'll cheer him later.
They will cheer him later. No, I agree.
I mean, booing him is Bush League. You know, the guy made a decision in his life, and that's fine. My only thought on this though is, I don't know. It just seems maybe it's a little premature. Again, a lot of injuries. I'm not disputing it's his life and he can make a decision, and he certainly has had a lot of injuries. But why not get placed on IR and be eligible to come back in 6 or 8 weeks or whatever the timetable is, and take half the season and see how you're doing at that point versus, I'm not saying it's a knee-jerk reaction by any means, because I don't know what's going through his head and what he's suffered through. But if you could go on IR and get half the season or whatever, and then see how you're feeling, I don't know. It sounds like it sounds like one of those guys that could potentially come back at some point, because he realizes in a year that, okay, he's past it, he's going to give it another run. My only thought was go on IR, see what happens, give it the 6 or 8 weeks, take another little rehab stint and give it one last shot.
I'll tell you this.
And if you're still not feeling good halfway through the season, then call it a career. I don't know.
I'll tell you this: if he did that, if he went on IR till week 8 or whatever, he's eligible to come back, didn't come back, collected $22 million for not playing, then retired after the season, then I'd probably boo him. Then I would call him gutless.
Yeah, for sure.
And everything else.
But I think it's one of those things that you have an honest conversation with front office, and you come to some agreement or some terms on that. I don't know, but you don't take the money. That's not a good thing. But I'm just saying maybe there are other options. That's all.
Well, and maybe I don't know for sure. I mean, it sounds like he's needs a break from football for sure. Maybe this was a contractual thing where the cleanest way to do it without costing either one of them a bunch of money or a bunch of court fees was to just say retire, and then we can terminate things the right way. Who knows? I don't know.
He's actually walking away with a ton of money that
Mhm.
in theory he shouldn't be.
Yeah, they're giving him the money.
Yeah.
Right.
He's getting his contract anyway. Exactly. They're paying him.
Yeah, they're giving him the whole signing bonus. He kept it. And that's supposed to be proven.
So if anything, you go on IR and you see what happens, and so you're taking the money anyway. It's not giving it back. So I don't know.
I think he
I just
needs to be out.
It just seemed premature to me, but again, I don't know, and I would certainly never boo him, and he has the full autonomy to do what he needs to do with his life. So
I do. If you saw me smirking, it's just Berto has said twice that booing is bush league, and I know you're not one of these guys, but you do associate with the biggest booing fan base in the NFL.
Eagles.
Yes.
Yeah. Boo Eagles.
Sure.
We can boo them
Yeah.
freely.
Oh yeah, if Carson Wentz was going to pack it up, they'd be throwing batteries at him. Of course, I understand that. Yes.
I think it's mental for him. He's got to say, I'm done. I'm not going to try and rehab. I'm not working to get back. I'm not on a schedule.
No, he's not coming back. I don't think this is a case where he's
He'll be a coach or he's going to broadcast.
He's doing this because he's got other interests outside of football.
Yeah.
He's got to resurface in the XFL, #1 draft pick.
I've seen that. I've seen that conspiracy theory. So the other big news, not nearly as big, but it does cost a team keeper. Lamar Miller goes down with a torn ACL. The Jack's Giant Killers will not be keeping him. Not a lot of controversy or much to discuss here, but you can see the dominoes now that Lamar Miller is out. Duke Johnson now steps in, is keeper now for the Dirt Devils. Dirt Devils now with even more potential keepers are able to trade away James White to the Sponge Fishermen, who need to fill a hole with Andrew Luck going away. So that all ties neatly together. Here's my next topic for you guys. It's not on the agenda, but I suspect you're somewhat prepared for this. We're 5 days away from the keeper deadline. We've seen Chief now fill the hole he's got. Berto, you're presumably filling your Lamar Miller hole with Phillip Rivers at quarterback, maybe Sterling Shepard at receiver.
Yep.
But here's my big question for all of you. Keeper deadline 5 days away. What keeper conundrums are you focused on out there on your team or on other teams, leaving you wondering what those final keeper lists are going to look like?
I'll start. I'll tell you what I'm looking at. Is who is keeping or not keeping a quarterback, and how may that affect my decision to keep a quarterback or not? And I'm working on other trades, but those are the things I'm focusing on. What franchises aren't keeping quarterbacks potentially, and who's going to be out there? So
I got two that aren't, and I think they're both on this panel. I don't think
there's three.
Chief isn't going to now, right? And I don't have Berto keeping a quarterback either.
Even after the Miller injury?
No, it's now pre-Miller injury, so now maybe you will.
Yeah.
And the Devils. Devils don't keep a quarterback.
Right.
The Devils probably are not keeping Kirk Cousins.
Okay, so that's who goes in for James White.
And then Duke Johnson is number 7 there.
Yeah, Duke is being kept by the Devils now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. James White was probably not a keeper for him, but Duke Johnson now takes over for Kirk Cousins.
All right. All right. Duke Johnson is to the Devils. Okay, good enough.
Chief, I don't know if you heard my question, but any keeper conundrums you're focused on as you look at the keeper lists ahead of the deadline?
No, I know there's a few owners have a couple calls to make, which will be interesting. I don't think there's anything there that affects me very much.
I think the Senators are still. I got a number of Senators text today. But I think there's still some questions there about, can he? I think there's movable pieces. Let's put it that way. somebody that he may trade or may not trade, or is it Cam? Is it Trubisky? Is it Edelman? Who's going to be in the mix? I think the Senators are not completely solid yet either.
Forgive me if I missed this from one of you, but I think the Lizards are probably making a big decision at their number 3 running back spot. Mm-hmm. I kind of get the sense he's leaning toward Austin Eckler, as long as Melvin Gordon is holding out. Kareem Hunt is the other option, and he's not going to play for 8 weeks. I think Jordan Howard is a definite keeper up there, but I think there's still some decisions to be made for the Lizards. Terry, what are you thinking right now with Breeze and Garoppolo?
I mean, as I've said before, I'd love to have a reason to keep Jimmy Garoppolo, but I don't think a decent showing against the Chiefs when they had no better than a third-string lineman in enough reason. I'm leaning right now towards keeping Drew Brees.
Yep. Okay, well, let's segue in then to another topic. We're going to talk a lot about drafting quarterbacks here, as Terry is eager to determine for sure. There are a lot of franchises, exactly how many we don't know, but there will be several TFFL franchises entering this draft without a keeper quarterback. Devils for sure, Giant Killers possibly, Sponge Fishermen for sure. And so the big question is when will they pounce on a quarterback? We'll talk about Kyler Murray in a second. I don't think Kyler Murray is the target for any of these teams. Nick is somebody who could do it in the second round. I think both Chief and Berto don't have second round picks. So are we looking at the third round is when there's going to be a run on quarterbacks?
I have the second pick in the second round. I'm at 14.
You're at 14. Okay, my apologies.
That being said, I'm not a Kyler Murray believer at all.
Yeah.
Somebody will be. You don't
like I said last
somebody's going to reach?
I would expect to be taken in that 11 to 15 range somewhere, but it won't be by me. But I'm excited to see him go.
You're excited to see somebody else take him.
I'd be thrilled to someone else take him before pick 14.
And that's the exact range I think he's going to go in.
Yeah. Somewhere in there.
I'll tell you what, I would have straight up no lying. I'd rather have Sam Darnold on my team. I'd rather take Sam Darnold at 14 than Kyler Murray.
That's a bold
And I
statement.
don't even think it's particularly close.
James,
Badass may want to get
He's
some
got much better
action
skill
on
set in
that.
the NFL game. His team's not significantly worse, if worse at all. He's a second-year QB as opposed to a rookie. He went third overall as opposed to first overall. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't see Kyler Murray as being the next great NFL quarterback.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I don't think he's that special.
100%.
All right,
In fact, if I was Bird, I'd like Sam Darnold.
we're going to come back to Kyler Murray, but let me focus on the first issue at hand, which is teams that need quarterbacks. When are they going to be drafting them? And I know several of these teams are worried about this, but I think the interesting thing is how many good, strong veteran quarterbacks there are out there. You don't have to panic and take one early. I mean, Berto, without giving anything away.
No, I'm not going to give anything away. I mean, I may or may not keep Rivers. I do like Rivers, but there's three other quarterbacks at least that I like, which I think I can get. So it all depends upon, is there a particular hierarchy of the guys that are going to be available that you like? And if you specifically are targeting one of those guys, then you're going to pick earlier than maybe needed. And if you're willing to wait into the third round at some point and you're happy with those 4 or 5 guys, then you're going to have options. So
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if I answered that question.
No, that's good. Yeah, I mean,
for you, but
Rivers is potentially out there. Russell Wilson is potentially out there. Tom Brady. I feel like I'm missing a bit. Kirk Cousins, obviously.
Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr.
And that's not getting into the younger guys. Mitchell Trubisky, I think, has some big upside.
Right.
So yeah, you're going to have 5 or 6 guys to choose from. If you don't have one head and shoulders above the rest, yeah, I think you can be a little more patient than people think they need to be.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the second.
Sam Darnold's available.
Sam?
Is available. He is.
All right, so the second quarterback topic I wanted to get to was Kyler Murray. And I will disagree with you guys, but let's are we all in agreement? I think he's probably going pretty early in this draft.
Yeah, sure.
First 2 rounds, yeah.
All right. Let's
I think 11 to 15 was high, but I think he'll go lower. But first 2 rounds, yeah.
Hank, give me an over/under on total Kyler Murray touchdowns this year.
Total Kyler Murray touchdowns. Over/under. He plays for the Cardinals.
Rushing, passing.
Receiving. Let's say the over/under for Kyler Murray as a rookie is 25.
Berto, Chief?
That's
Passing
where I
TDs?
want to set the number.
Total TDs?
Yeah.
And you think Sam Darnold's going to significantly beat that?
No,
Right.
not significantly. I'll take under.
You're going to go under 25?
Yes.
That's not a starting quarterback.
Right.
But I think 25 is a 25 with the rushing yards he's going to get. That's a fine performance.
I think he's going to struggle, and you know we'll see, but they're not a great team, and you know he's going to be asked to do a lot.
I've got him projected at 26.
There you go.
Total.
It's it's tough. I mean, rookie quarterbacks, and I mean maybe I'm underestimating his accuracy and his arm, and that he can throw the ball like a guy like Andrew Luck. I don't view him that way. Maybe he is. He looks to me like a smaller Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson get hit a lot, and you saw he missed the season. We'll see.
We have had this conversation before. I'm going to repeat my theory on this, which is the number 1 overall NFL draft pick has got such a high upside. We talked about this with Baker Mayfield last year. He should not have gone in the 10th round. Even if you had Carson Wentz or Deshaun Watson, every single one of us should have been willing to invest a higher draft pick in Baker Mayfield than he went. Every single one of us should be willing to take Kyler Murray, maybe as early as the 2nd round. When I look at the possibility of a Raquel Armstead, if I've got that name right, or somebody like that going in the 2nd round,
Total stud.
the chances of him, being a 10 touchdown stud running back, are 5% at best. The chances of Kyler Murray being a 30 touchdown stud quarterback by year 2 is probably 50-50. Why not roll the dice and at least, you get an asset there? It does, and the 2nd round may be early for a lot of teams, but if he's sitting there in the 3rd or 4th round, nobody should be passing on it.
No, that's fine.
I think you answered your own question with the beginning of this, though, with the amount of quarterbacks that are available. I mean, if Russell Wilson is going to be available, he's a 30 touchdown guy every year.
Yeah.
Or so Phillip Rivers is 33 touchdowns. So
I got 4 or 5 guys.
Unless you're talking about, the next Mahomes, or he could very easily be the next Tim Couch. So who knows?
What if he's simply the next Baker Mayfield and you can turn him into a receiver as good as Adam Thielen?
How did getting Lamar Jackson work out for you?
I'm not saying every quarterback is definitely going to turn into a tradable asset, but Baker Mayfield worked out very well for you.
Yeah, he was my backup quarterback, but yeah, and I wish I had him still. Listen, you have to start. I think the unspoken piece right now is you need to start 3 running backs.
Sure.
There are 32 teams in the NFL. I mean, running backs are ridiculously good. Running backs are scarce,
right?
And I think that is going to guide you to taking the longer shots than the quarterback who might someday top out as a top 8 quarterback in the NFL. Well, big fucking deal.
Especially if you already have one.
Ben Roethlisberger's in the draft every year. That guy's a solid 35 touchdown, 4,000 yard guy.
And you go back to like the Russell Wilson or Phillip Rivers and the number of touchdowns they'll have this year. I would say both of them are going to have more than Kyler Murray this year.
Agreed.
Okay. So if you're going to look at Kyler Murray, then you're looking at keeping him.
Or trading him.
And maybe he goes off and has an unbelievable year, I'm going to look really bad at this in 5 weeks, but I don't see it yet. And I mean, how tall is he? Is he 6 feet tall?
No.
No.
He's 5. I think he's listed at 5'10", but I'm not even sure he's that tall.
We'll see. I don't buy it. But I think you should invest a very high pick and
Somebody
keep him.
will.
The other unspoken thing is this: is we're seeing very few running backs be relevant past their rookie contract anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You really need to start replenishing those running backs. I mean, you can't even get your set with 3. You have to draft another one because they're gone. They're gonna be too expensive. They're playing as a part-timer somewhere on a veteran minimum salary. Whereas a quarterback, if you were the guy who drafted, I don't know, Drew Brees by a few teams, Peyton Manning, he's an outlier. Pick somebody, right? You can have him for about 8, 10, 12 years, and you're fine. You're looking at a backup every year. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that Kyler Murray's going to bring much back in trade. If you're drafting him so you can trade him after a year, I'm not sure that's the best use of a high pick.
I would be drafting him on the potential, the high ceiling and the relatively high chance that he reaches that ceiling relative to the other options that would be out there.
And let's be clear. You said you see him going in the 3rd or 4th round. Okay, yeah, I do too. But you just said somebody was going to pick him in the 1st or 2nd round, in the 11 to 15 range.
If I'm Nick, he's in play for me at number 7 overall. I need a quarterback. There's a drop off at that point in terms of the rookie running backs.
I agree. Yeah, he should take him.
He should take him.
He should. Why not? Be fun.
That'd be a smart pick for Dirt Devils.
Yeah.
I think Nick should.
All right. Well, okay, so there you go. So he goes at 11, and then the other 2 guys who do not have quarterbacks might be a little quicker to take one.
Now, maybe the Mahomes thing, right? So, and then Michael trading Drew Brees, and then Chief trading Baker Mayfield. I don't think a lot of that has happened in the past, where you're drafting these guys, things pan out, and they're immediately an asset. It typically goes, you're like, fuck, I'll draft them and let's see what happens, and then you don't keep them. It's typically what happens. So I think Mahomes' situation and the Baker Mayfield were an exception to the rule. But again, they could potentially be an asset, but quarterback is so deep, and there's so many guys every year who have the capability to throw 30+ touchdowns that I don't think that he is that special. He's not, he's not Andrew Luck coming out, right? He's not that guy, I don't think.
He's not even Mike Vick. He was a 5th rounder his rookie year.
And for the record, and this is true, Chief, I actually got trade inquiries about Lamar Jackson 2 weeks ago. There actually was an owner who was contemplating making an offer, or maybe I put too high a price on it.
I'm guessing that it was Kramer who's offering you his number 9, 10, 11 keeper in future week.
Not Kramer.
And when you didn't accept it, he told you were crazy. That's Kramer.
Where did Richie draft Andrew Luck?
1st round, number 3 overall, maybe.
That high? Okay.
Because RG3 was.
I had the 5th pick or 6th, and I ended up taking RG3 in the 1st round in the same draft.
Yeah. See, I think both of those guys had more hype on them and legit NFL dreams than Kyler Murray. And I don't. Again, maybe I'm way underselling this guy.
I agree. I think there was more there. Maybe not. I don't know.
Shit, the guy thought he was a baseball player 5 months ago. He thought that's where his future was in baseball.
And it may be again.
He by himself as an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me. We're gonna start to wrap up here. I think we'll.
Stick, wait a second, Stick? Did we beat you up enough on that one or no?
Yeah. What do you think, Stick?
Hey, we've had this argument before. I at least in the short term, I think I won it with the value that Chief got out of Baker Mayfield. And we talked about whether it's drafting a rookie quarterback or in my case, drafting Carson Wentz early in his second year with a fairly big chip, a second round pick. Deshaun Watson. There's lots of examples.
Didn't Baker Mayfield have
Deshaun Watson was a free agency pick.
No, I'm just saying there's lots of examples of these rookie or second year quarterbacks. Mahomes again last year being another exploding in year two. I mean, it's not like you're waiting 5 years for these guys to develop. If Kyler Murray is going to hit 25 touchdowns this year, year two, you're thinking 30 plus. And yeah, that's a guy I want to take. Terry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, I think Baker Mayfield set the rookie touchdown passing record. So, I mean, he had a historically great season for a rookie quarterback. I don't know how many times that's gonna happen.
And listen, I don't know Cliff Kingsbury from a hole in the wall, but I think an aspect to this is the offense and the potential for big numbers in that offense for Kyler Murray. We'll see. All right, let me give you your multiple trivia answers here. I'll try to move through these pretty quick. True or false? The Fugitive Hogs in their 4 years of existence had as many or more losing seasons than the Giant Killers.
Oh, I meant true.
I meant false.
I almost had the same answer as Roberto here.
That is false.
They had less.
The Giant Killers have had more losing seasons than the Fugitive Hogs.
Yes,
Yeah.
good. That's false. I said Killers have more.
That's false, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
False.
All right. Number of losing seasons for the Giant Killers in 18 years is 5.
Ooh. I said 6.
I said 3.
All right. So I
said
said 3 points for getting that exactly, or 1 point for being within 1. So you got a point there, Hank.
Oh, I did. All right.
And the last time, if ever, the Giant Killers have had back-to-back losing seasons. 2001, 2002 is correct.
Wow. I was right in here, too.
2004.
No, I thought one of them was a 500 season. So I changed my answer.
Our first 2 seasons in the 2001 draft in Rhodes.
Correct. Your first 2 seasons, you were, I think, 5-7-1, or
5-7-1. I thought we were like
I'm
8.
a decade off.
6-6-1. I thought the other one. I thought we were exactly 500.
no, 5-7-1 both years.
Ah,
I knew it was losing. I knew the first 2 years were losing. I didn't know what the record was, but
And for the record, the Fugitive. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terry.
I said I got shut out.
Yeah, we got to do some scoring here. Hang on. I'll get the scoring ready.
For the record, the Fugitive Hogs were around for a grand total of 4 seasons. All 4 were losing seasons. So only one more losing season in 18 years by the Stem Cells and Giant Killers.
Wow. Well done, Berto.
the Hogs probably would have done the same thing, though.
All right.
Right. So, yeah, tally up your scores.
Yeah,
where's Andy Augustine these days?
He's he's out in Seattle, I think, maybe.
Right.
He's back at East Coast now, I think. I've seen activity from him on LinkedIn.
Okay.
With the dude.
All right.
I got everything right for me. The only time ever.
All right. So let's go. Other things. Just tell me what we've got by way of points. So, Chief, how many points did you get?
4.
4. Berto?
I have no idea. I got everything right. How many points?
6.
6?
Yeah.
Okay. I got. So the true false was worth 2 or 1?
1. So you got 2 points then.
I got 2 points.
Yep.
Okay. And then TR, how many did you get?
0.
Excellent.
Man, you're bad at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Terry and I are terrible. All right. So the new updated standings now are Chief leading with 14, Berto in second with 11, Hank
Second.
is in third with 6, TR is in fourth with 4, and we do not have a guest getting on the scoreboard just yet.
We'll have to start lining up guests as we get into the regular season. I don't know if we will do a webcast next week. Maybe we'll try to squeeze one in after the keeper deadline and before we head out of town.
Let's do it for a live audience next Thursday night.
Or we could, yeah.
At the draft, we're not going to do a webcast at the draft.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it in the car on the way down.
Our entire audience is in the house.
Right. Somebody was joking, or maybe not joking, about covering the draft live, having the webcast do our best Mel Kiper and Chris Berman impersonations. So yeah, I don't know if we'll get together next week for another webcast, but whether on the air or in person, we will see everybody in 8 days, or maybe 9 days if you're a Friday arrival.
Excellent.
Berto and Bill are going to see each other in, 5 days?
Wednesday. I got a round of golf Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we'll play.
Wow.
Yep. Nice.
Get your game in shape, Berto.
Yes.
All right, everybody keep an eye on Dorian. Berto, as our meteorologist, if something really shifts, sound the alarm, but
Sure.
I think we're going to be okay.
Love the spaghetti chart.
Nice
Yep.
work.
Yeah, everyone loves spaghetti.
Big,
All right.
big ups, yes.
Pay your dues if you haven't. Get your keepers into Terry. Send your keepers to the whole league, please. So we can all
Yes.
start to do our planning. Good luck to everybody in your final maneuvering, and we'll see you in a little more than a week. Take care.
See you,
Outstanding.
everyone.
Good night.
Cheers. Okay.
Nice.